All right, welcome back to My Mom's Basement, but another emergency from the top rope edition of My Mom's Basement with Jared Carrabis, the Rocket. We are here post WrestleMania press conference, and we've got some answers. Not all the answers, but we've got some answers as to where WrestleMania 40 is going now. Obviously, the We Want Cody Crybabies, Cody Bobos, if you want to call them that. It seems to have worked. We're getting Cody versus Reigns at Mania. Will The Rock be involved? I think so. How he's going to be involved, I don't know. Jared, what did you think of the WrestleMania press conference last night?
I'm surprised that you came out and said that we have answers. I feel like we have less answers now than ever. I feel like we
We
came
have a
away
little
from
bit of
that.
answers, though. We know it's official. Cody chooses Reigns. They're fighting at WrestleMania.
Okay, but like fucking a week ago, he said The Rock has Roman. Like it changes by the week. So like just because Cody chose Roman last night, I mean, literally 7 days ago as we record this, Cody chose The Rock for Roman. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
You could sit here and say, okay, yeah, as of right now, Roman and Cody is set for WrestleMania 40, but Dwayne The Rock Johnson seems pretty pissed off. And there's a lot of different angles. I don't want to like jump all over the place, but when we do get to the point about talking about Seth Rollins, I am very intrigued to talk about that.
Yeah. Seth is definitely, he was kind of like trotted out there just to be put down last night in a weird way. Obviously, they might have set something up tag team wise. We'll get to that. As far as Cody and The Rock, I think they made a great pivot last night. And I say it's a pivot. A lot of people are saying this was the plan all along. We got worked all along. You breaking down how convoluted it is with Cody saying he wants The Rock to take his shot and then Cody's taking his shot. No real explanation other than like, we had a conversation, but I changed my mind. I don't think people should be giving WWE the credit for this being a work all along. I think it's very clear that they pivoted instantly, which was a great move. And I love it because we're getting a little bit of heel Rock, Hollywood Rock. And Hollywood Rock is the best Rock, in my opinion. So I'm happy about where they took this, especially like the post interview with Triple H where The Rock comes in. He's like, I'll fucking slap the teeth out of his mouth. Like that was incredible. That might have been the best part of the whole thing.
Yeah. That like they're back to like a little bit of like sprinkling in some reality here. I thought like the funniest line of the night though was Punk being like all the people that were booing The Rock for taking Cody's spot. He was like, "Where the fuck were you guys 10 years ago?" Which is totally fair. Yeah, so I think there's some negatives, there's some positives. I think for you, Bob, a negative, maybe you can blame it on the fact that they didn't play his music, but virtually no pop at all for Cody being like, "I'm challenging Rock." Like the crowd was like, "Okay." Like that, like it was a very underwhelming pop.
I expected it to be like when Daniel Bryan said, like, I'm going to be in the main event and meet the fucking Yes movement taking over, all that stuff. It definitely wasn't that. They should have played his music, though. I feel like if they played his music when he came out instead of just like he's hitting on the mic and he's like, is this on? This is bullshit.
Yeah.
And the other thing that, like, I love Cody, but the way it was written, the way that everything went down over the last week, he's like, this is bullshit. It's like, well, you could have prevented this by just being like, I choose you on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Like, what's bullshit about it? You said you didn't want the shot, so they made a match without you.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. It's very weird. Some of it is great storytelling, but like you can poke holes in it very easily. Like you can't come out here and be like, this match that I chose myself is bullshit. It's like, well, this is only happening because you said to. Like, what are you talking about? But like, it's a little bit of Hollywood Rock, but it's also not. Like when he went on McAfee show, that was a little bit of Hollywood Rock, but this is like a different Rock. This is like a scary, like angry, like his own interpretation of the tribal chief character Rock.
It's Bloodline Rock.
Yeah, it's Bloodline Rock. Like we've never seen this before. Like heel Rock is still cool. Like heel Rock is funny. Yeah. It's arguably his most entertaining version of himself. This Rock is like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, Rock, for my family. Yeah.
Like when it's like was talking to Cody, he was very like, it was almost like he was out of breath. The way he was like really just breathing deep, angry about the whole thing. Yeah. I loved his promo on McAfee. I loved his promo at the press conference. The way he was drawing out the boos, taking long pauses before he hits the finally. And I was surprised by the level of boos that he got, especially because it's like a Vegas crowd, maybe some out-of-towners there for the Super Bowl, just going to the free press conference. But the crowd hated The Rock. Like, he got some slight Rocky chance, maybe 20% of the crowd was giving it to him, but he was playing into it when he's like, here's the family tree of the one true royal family in wrestling, a direct shot at Cody, his entrance and everything. That was fucking awesome. Like, I hope that maybe somewhere along the way that they were going to lean into this, but do you think originally when The Rock came back, he was just going to be grateful Rock and like before Cody fans turned on it?
Yes. I mean, like, think about it. He hasn't been in the ring for 10 years. In his mind, he's probably like, oh, these people are gonna love this shit. Like, I haven't been around for 10 years, and like now I'm gonna take a break from Hollywood and come back and give him a dream match. And like, it is a dream match. It's not like like when we got Brock versus Goldberg at WrestleMania 20, that was a quote unquote dream match. But everyone was like, we know that you're leaving. Like, we don't really care. Like, there's no payoff to this. You guys are just having a match for the paycheck, and you can throw Austin in there as a special guest referee, but who gives a fuck? Like, this is more just like, all right, if this were at SummerSlam and this is a dream match that people have wanted for a long time, but maybe you pulled the trigger too soon or too late or whatever, the timing just wasn't right. But because a lot of this, what I thought was cool about last night is you had to pay attention to all of it. You had to watch the press conference, but then you also had to pay attention to social media, because there was a really cool shot that wasn't part of the press conference of The Rock and Roman walking out of the arena together. Like, it was totally like the first time that Undertaker and Kane got together after you thought that they were just going to like fight forever. And then like that shot of them like walking side by side, you're like, holy fuck. Like, these guys are world beaters individually, but together, oh my God. Like that, like the first time you saw Undertaker and Kane together, kind of gave me similar vibes when I saw Roman and Rock walking out together. I was like, this is something I never thought I would see. But you think about the storyline wise, like the story that they're telling us. Yeah. Like, all right, like they could fight over the head of the table, but they sit at the same table. Like, they should be on the same team. Like, it's the
Someone's
same
attacking
bloodline.
that table right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's Cody.
The way they went about that was great too. When Roman first takes a shot at Dusty and he basically says, like, you're going to have an irrelevant career like your dad does.
Just like your dad.
And Cody's reaction was so good. It seemed so like genuine out of him, where he was like about to say something. He was just like, oh, all right. You want to go there? We're going there. Yeah. And then do we have the clip of him actually giving his promo and then The Rock's response? Because everything about this was, it was a perfect piece of business, as they say in the wrestling industry.
It was juicy, Bob. I'll pull it up for you right now. This is if you know what, it's a minute and a half, but it's worth the minute and a half.
It is.
It's worth the minute and a half. Hold on, my thing is fucked up. This worked fine 20 seconds ago
when we tested it. Yeah.
Here we go.
If the High Chief, his grandfather, was here, they'd be ashamed of you.
And then the dramatic zoom in on Roman's face. So good. And then in this moment, you don't see it obviously, but The Rock steps up to Cody.
Yeah.
And that shot where he just comes into frame. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. He's like, what the fuck did you say? Yep. The Rock, I'll save my take for after, but
he made Roman look tiny, by the way, standing next to him. Not a lot of people can do that.
Something perfectly clear to you. When you talk about his family, you're talking about my family.
What?
When you're talking about his ancestors, you're talking about my ancestors.
Great delivery.
And when you're talking about his blood, you're talking about my blood. So now we have a problem.
No!
So good. Eamon's reaction is so good. They all start cursing up a storm to make it real. They're, what the fuck did you do? I'll fucking slap the shit out of you. Like, I loved all the bleeping, and they weren't great with the bleeping. You could hear almost all of it. Every shit you could hear. But so fucking good. The way they pulled it apart and then also got Seth involved was great because Seth didn't really have much to do other than be told you're wearing your wife's shoes and nobody cares about your championship out there.
Right.
I'm starting to be like, why the fuck did you? I get that he's the champ, so you want to have him involved, but it was almost detrimental to him to have him involved until the end, where I was like, all right, he's sticking up for Cody. It feels like they're building to a tag team match. I don't know if it could happen at the Elimination Chamber because of Seth's injury. Some people, Brian Alvarez, is speculating that that's going to be the night 1 main event. It's going to be the tag team match, and then night 2 will be Cody and Reigns. I don't think they'll do that for Mania, to be honest, but I don't know. Anything's on the table now.
They definitely made it seem like they're building towards a tag, though, because that's also, I guess, Seth's character, right? Like, he's someone that is the protector of the Shield. No pun intended. When Cody first came back, it's like, this motherfucker tried to take this company down. Like, he created our competition. He did the whole Triple H sledgehammer thing on the throne. Like, he fucking hated us, and now he's back to cheers. Fuck him. Like, it's weird because like Seth was like a
did the
heel.
same thing.
Yeah, it's like he had heel tendencies, but he was right all along. Like, it's like, no, like, I've been in WWE. I stayed here. Like, I didn't like leave for Hollywood. I didn't get a fat contract with AEW. Like, I stayed here. I love this place. And then everyone's like, yay, Cody, the destroyer of WWE, he's back. Like, and then when Punk came back, it's like, no, dude, fuck you. Like, you left and you trashed this place, and it's like, no, like, I'm, and then they're like, boo, Seth, yay, Punk. Yeah. None of it made sense, at least from like the fan reaction perspective. And now you have this where, like, I get that Cody originally was someone that he opposed, but it's like, no, Rock, like, you came back from Hollywood and now you like took this guy's spot. Fuck you. Like, he's been here working the last 2 years. So it makes sense for Seth to want to back Cody and all this. So that's why, like, when people were saying, oh, it was a tough look for Seth, like, he was just kind of standing off to the side, I'm like, no. Like, it's kind of like character development where he is like the junkyard dog of the WWE. Like, he's the protector, he's the defender of WWE. And who has needed defense more than anyone recently than fucking Cody Rhodes. So it's more just kind of speaks to that part of his character. But
and Cody stood up for him on Raw as well. When McIntyre went after him, Cody was the one to chase McIntyre out of the ring. So they are building a little Apollo Rocky connection there, or former enemies, maybe current friends. Yeah. I like that as well. I like you said, for a while it was Seth standing out there to do nothing, but then at the end they at least redeemed him a little bit there.
And he was hot.
Put him in a segment with The Rock, like, just being in a segment with The Rock elevates you to that level. Cody looked like a fucking megastar getting cheered over The Rock at that presser last night. Like, just that presser elevated Cody and probably set up a Cody versus Rock one-on-one match if they wanted to go in that direction later.
Right. I mean, Rock's got to cash those stock options.
Those TKO checks.
Yeah. But I think when you kind of like look at how everything shakes out last night, I think everyone ends up coming out looking good. Like,
yeah,
I think like they were what were the part that made me laugh? I think like The Rock said something. Oh, when he was like calling the Cody Crybabies and like Roman just started laughing. I was like, Roman is not reacting to The Rock like it's someone that's coming for his title at WrestleMania. It's like they kind of see him buddy even before The Rock had his moment to kind of like turn heel and focus on Cody. So I'm excited for that. And what I hate to admit, Bob, and you kind of alluded to this, is like The Rock kind of did look like the head of the table there. Like, he kind of did look like if there was a higher level to the bloodline, it looked like like the Rock is definitely not going to be a subordinate to Roman Reigns.
No, Roman fell in line basically. He was just like, all right, I guess you're the leader now. Like, and that's an interesting power struggle too that I think is probably going to explode before Mania. Like, I don't know if they'll rush it necessarily that quick. We do have a couple months till Mania. I view this as a triple threat match. I still think that's the direction where they're going now, where eventually The Rock is going to say, all right, I'm the head of the table. I should have the fucking title. And they're going to butt heads over that, or they're going to do the tag team match and they're going to have a disagreement and lose because of that. I think we're building towards a triple threat still. And I think that's the move. I think that's the smart move. I think it feels like the biggest match in the world right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. I know Meltzer has said that he thinks that Roman could be working both nights. The Rock
I don't
and
think he'll do
Cody.
that.
I don't think he'll do it either, because I don't think that like, I think if you tell this story right, you can get to a triple threat where it's not just viewed as, oh, we wanted The Rock for the star power, and he's not like conditioned well enough to go one-on-one for 30 minutes, so we gave him the triple threat to give him a breather. Like, you can make it as like, no, like, this is the story that, because like when we just our last episode having the discussion about, well, Cody's story has to be against Roman because of the way that Roman beat him at WrestleMania 39. Well, now you can interject The Rock into this after you just got bitch slapped in front of the world by The Rock. Finishing your story could be taking down both of them. Like,
Absolutely.
that family. Like, now it becomes family versus family, which is certainly part of his story. It's him versus The Rock, which is part of the story now. And it's him versus Roman, which is part of the story. Like, the story, like Cody's story isn't beating Roman Reigns. Like, there's so many different elements to it. So
yeah,
triple threat it seems to be the way to go. But I swear to fucking God, if Roman loses his title without getting pinned, I will be
I don't think they'll do that.
Livid.
I don't think they'll do that. But like, if The Rock gets pinned, that's certainly a reason for Roman to turn on him and hate him. Like, you fucking are the reason I lost my title. I do think Cody will pin Reigns. I think The Rock will get taken out of the match by Solo or something. I think the bloodline will turn on him as he's about to win. Like, we can't let our leader lose to another person in the bloodline. And then you set up maybe Cody and Rock versus Solo and Roman at fucking SummerSlam, and then they'll do their match in Saudi probably because they're paying trillions of dollars. Did you see they just brought the Undertaker out to present a trophy at a soccer game?
I did. So I didn't watch the clip. I kind of just saw like a highlight of it on Twitter, and I just saw like the lights were out and the lightning bolts. I was like, I don't know. It just feels like
holding up the trophy like it's an urn. And I love they make him throw the singlet on. They're like, we don't care that you're retired for years. Like, get that fucking singlet and coat on. He puts it on. He posted such a funny picture from the plane home too. He's like, just got done watching soccer. Now going home to see my queen.
My queen.
He's like, is that a real Undertaker post? I get that, we talked to him. He's like, I kind of want to live a real life after being a dead man for the last 40 years of my life. But it's like, I don't know. We kind of just want to see you be a dead man on social media. We don't want to see you talking about your queen.
Yeah, we don't want to see Mark. Save Mark for your close friends.
Yeah. He needs a close friend story is what he needs. Let's go through some other stuff happened at the presser. I just want to quickly go through it. Triple H gave the big introduction off the start, and I viewed this as almost the start of writing Vince out of history, because he talked all about WrestleMania 1 and all of the people that were involved in making WrestleMania 1 the event that it became. We're here today talking about WrestleMania 40. No mention of Vince, obviously. And Michael Cole said Pat McAfee is undefeated at WrestleMania. So we are striking that impromptu Vince match from the record from last year's show.
Oh,
so he's going to get the Benoit treatment for sure. And right now he probably should. I think that's probably for the best.
So that means that Roman broke the streak.
Yeah.
I mean, Brock is getting wiped. He's not in the video game. Like, he's not. They took him off the poster. Yeah, like, he's getting wiped, brother. So
yeah. Vince, Brock's next. Yeah. Bianca was next to come out. She plugged a reality show. Crowd seemed to like her. Rhea Ripley, obviously, huge pop, good promo. It's a tough spot for a lot of these wrestlers to go out there. Everyone knows that they're waiting for The Rock and to find out what's happening in the main event. But I thought Rhea did a pretty good job with her promo, and then Becky came out to interrupt it. And she had this great line where she's like, mommy is going to find out what it's like to be a bottom when the man comes around. And the crowd she's bottom. She's talking sex. Like, They faced off. Crowd seemed to love it. That seems to be the WrestleMania match. I think it's smart. Feels like a very big match. I think Rhea Ripley should probably headline the Elimination Chamber as well. She might be the most over person in Australia when they go down there. I mean, unless you could get like The Rock maybe. But right now, I'm like, I don't know. Let Rhea headline it. She's going to be like Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Seth Rollins was next. He eventually got interrupted by Roman. They had a good little back and forth. I like seeing Seth and Roman together whenever they're doing a feud. When they had that match at the Royal Rumble years ago, and Seth came out in the fucking Shield gear and beat him via DQ because he made him so mad he couldn't break the 5 count. That was great. I hope we see them have like a longer program down the road. I think there's so much more meat left on the bone in Seth Roman.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I that's one of my favorite matches. I guess the ending was poetic in a way, like it was good storytelling, but I wish that it had a more, I guess, definitive finish to it.
It's like Mind Games, Mankind versus Shawn Michaels. You know, you get a DQ finish after like a 5-star match. It makes it feel a little weird. Or Seth Rollins versus John Cena at SummerSlam, put on like a fucking 5-star classic, only to have Jon Stewart decide the ending of that one.
That was wild. Yeah, people forget that. Jon Stewart turning heel.
And then he came out on Raw and like explained himself the next day and cut a promo about how Cena abandoned. That was, I'm gonna try to forget that happened. And then what we have been talking about happened with Cody, Reigns, Roman, Seth even getting involved a little bit. Heyman, oh my God, Heyman's shocked face when the slap happened. He was like, oh, like he made this noise like from the bowels of his stomach. And then all this stuff afterwards, them playing into I think they're playing into the TKO board member thing when
Punk mentioned it.
Punk mentioned it, and then Rock saying to Triple H, "You better fix this or we will." That line gave me chills. It was like, okay, now they're just aligned and they're telling Triple H, like, you as the executive, fix what just happened, which is also very funny as they're the heels. So it makes sense that they're forgetting this, but like, you brought up the family first. It was one of those things where they're pushing the Dusty comment under the rug and they're like, he fucking talked about our family. This is crazy.
You can't be talking about our family.
I love the family tree presentation too. They knew what they were doing with that, and The Rock built it up like it was going to be this awesome reveal, and they put the family tree up there. Nobody gave a fuck. They were like, what the hell is this? They got Tamina on there. They got The Rock's daughter on there who's running NXT. She had a funny tweet. She was like, please leave me out of this. I'm trying to run NXT down here.
Yeah. Trinity was on there.
Yep.
Yeah, they even had like the other siblings there.
You can't write them out of the family tree, even in kayfabe. You gotta include them.
What, the ones that are kind of like in the indies?
Yeah.
I mean, like you have to acknowledge that they exist for sure. Yeah, you have to acknowledge them. Did you want the clip of that backstage segment uncensored? This was from someone that was
you got it. Oh, uncensored.
Uncensored. Yeah, this was someone was filming the screen from the crowd. I don't know how the sound quality is going to be, but
have them talk shit about our family again. That's what happens. It's not like have them talk shit about it. You don't fix it, we will. Have them talk shit about our family again.
Slap his fucking teeth out as well.
That's a great line. And I love that The Rock is playing into it as much as he is in terms of being a heel. I didn't think he would ever get to that point ever again. I thought Dwayne Johnson would always be the nostalgia act, a movie star, and he's doing Jungle Cruise with Disney, and he's doing fucking Moana, The Voice. I'm like, he's almost too big to say things like, I'll slap the fucking teeth out down his throat. But then he says shit like that. I'm like, all right, you know what? Every ounce of me that was like, fuck The Rock for forcing himself into that main event has now flipped. And I'm like, thank God The Rock is in this main event. It's crazy. They've made me both rally behind Cody more and rally behind The Rock more.
Yeah. I think when, I think it was Meltzer who said, like, you know, trust me when I tell you, The Rock doesn't care if he gets cheered or if he gets booed. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, there's no fucking way that that's true. Like, he definitely cares if he gets booed. And then
like
last night,
he just didn't imagine, like The Rock didn't imagine I would come back after 11 years spent away, announce a WrestleMania main event against my cousin who people have wanted to see me face for his basically whole career. And everyone would chant for Cody Rhodes during that. I don't think The Rock anticipated that, expected it. I don't think he loved it, but now I think he does. Now I think The Rock views a lane to get towards WrestleMania, and he's like, all right, now I get to have a little fun on the mic. Instead of just being like, oh, the millions and millions. I'm so grateful. Finally home. Now he's like, I'm here with the fucking Cody Crybabies that are, typing on their computer with Cheeto dust fingers and like, I want that Rock. I want him to come out with a fucking guitar and write a song about the Cody Crybabies, which I'm embracing. I love the phrase Cody Crybabies. My brother did text me a great suggestion. He's like, if they wanted to make it a cool thing, the Rhodes Warriors is kind of sick. If the fan base wants to be like, we ain't the Crybabies, we're the fucking Rhodes Warriors, and we put them in that main event.
I mean,
someone get a Rhodes Warriors sign on Raw next week, and I'll send you a free shirt.
Well, The Rock did acknowledge that there are Cody fans and Cody Crybabies. Like there's two groups. So that could totally exist. The Cody Crybabies, that's a real thing. Like they absolutely are just crying online about the Cody Bobos. But I think this is just a different Rock that we've never seen before. And I think I'm just going to love every second of it. Like, because like the Hollywood Rock was cool. Like he was an asshole, but he was funny.
Yeah.
Like this heel Rock is going to be scary. Like like you threatened his family. So now he wants to slap your fucking teeth down your throat. Yeah. So like, it's just a different Rock that we haven't seen. And just that image of Roman and Rock aligned, like obviously it's going to be short-lived, but if we get to see that in some form or fashion sometime between now and WrestleMania, like that's going to be cool. Like I'm going to be very, very into that.
Bro, The Rock with bloodline trunks, that would be crazy. Like that, just like the thinking about that is like, oh fuck, Jared's gonna fucking scotch tape a poster of that right above his bed tonight.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm Jey Uso, I'm like, damn, dude, this whole singles thing is great and all, but I gotta go back to the bloodline. Like that's
y'all got any spots left in the bloodline? He's the Dave Chappelle meme. He's like, any more bloodline spots there?
Yeah. Well, he's gonna end up getting Gunther at WrestleMania now, right?
No, I think they're still gonna do Jey versus Jimmy.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I think Jey versus Jimmy is the match this year.
Didn't Jey just come out and like challenge Gunther for WrestleMania? Did that not just happen on Raw?
For Chamber, I think.
Oh,
I think that's the Chamber.
Like, come on, Jey.
Interference by Jimmy in that match. I think it's Braun Breaker, Gunther. I think that's the match right there.
That's terrible.
No,
like Braun Breaker.
Braun?
I like Braun Breaker.
Men slapping meat.
I like Braun Breaker, but he's literally just like playing Brock Lesnar. Like find your own. He's doing all the things that Brock was supposed to. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
But he's himself. He's a Steiner.
Yes, he is. But he's literally like they literally just gave him Brock Lesnar's WrestleMania plans, and he's like, yeah, I can do all that. Yeah,
but he's a fucking big guy like that. He can do that.
You know what? That's
Bob? Not his fault.
You know what, Bob? To borrow a line from my friend Sean Latham, earn it.
Earn it. No, he has. He's been in NXT for fucking years. He's become like a fan favorite. He just got
called up and got the Brock Lesnar spot. What? Yeah. That's how you enter.
Who else are you going to give the Brock spot to?
You don't have to give it to anyone.
Just JD McDonough.
Yes.
No.
I wouldn't give it to JD McDonough, but you can definitely like if Braun Breaker, you went from a dream match of Brock Lesnar and Gunther at WrestleMania to an NXT rookie call up. Like that's honestly like
not a
Carmelo
rookie anymore.
What?
He's not a rookie anymore. I mean, to the main roster, no, but
he's a main roster rookie
for years. He's fucking great.
What? I would rather. This is a hot take, but not really. I would rather see Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams on the WrestleMania card than Gunther and Braun Breaker. Like that feud is fucking awesome right now at NXT.
It is. They're awesome. I got nothing bad to say about either of those guys. But WrestleMania is 2 nights. You could fucking do that. You could call them up and put that match on WrestleMania.
Put that match on WrestleMania.
Half the roster's injured. You can do that.
I know. And he like it's fresh. Like the payoff. You have the like he just turned heel. It's the perfect amount of time to build up to WrestleMania. Like I would love if that match was on the card.
I'm down for that. I'm not down for the Braun Breaker slander before he even gets a shot on the main roster.
Not slandering him.
This guy is going to be a big star.
I'm not saying I don't like him. I'm not saying I don't enjoy his work.
You're laying a little layer of slander on him. It's like
it's just like
butter on toast. You're putting a little slander on him.
It would be different if I said it feels like he just took Brock's spot. Like he literally took Brock's spot. Like all the shit that Brock was going to do between the Rumble and Mania is just Braun Breaker instead of Brock Lesnar. Like it doesn't make sense.
And if you say it fast like that, like Braun Breaker, Brock Lesnar, like it's like you could even confuse their names like that.
No one's confused.
What if they just call him like Brock Breaker? What if they do a quick name change and they're like, and by the way, you're coming out to
Brock Steiner would be cool.
Brock Steiner, that does sound good. I can't believe that they won't let him just be Braun Steiner or something like that.
Why not?
Like,
yeah,
it's strange. It's strange. But honestly, after everything we went through post Rumble, I was pretty down on Mania. I said, like, this definitely lowers my enthusiasm for the card. We are now in the complete opposite direction. So credit to the WWE. I don't think it was your plan all along, but you did an amazing pivot and you have me back excited for WrestleMania, maybe more excited than I ever was. Not ever, but for this year's WrestleMania, I think right now is my peak excitement for it. I saw some people shitting on the press conference too. Some people didn't like it. I cannot believe that. I left the press conference with chills, running into the office in my room to be like, telling my girlfriend the whole thing that went down. It was the meme of the guy being like, and then he fucking said something about his family. Yeah. My girl was like, all right, I get it. Nice, good for Cody. Like, I'm fired up now. I'm fired up for the Elimination Chamber. I'm like, what's going to happen there? What's going to happen on Raw? What's going to happen on SmackDown on Friday? Everything about it excites me. I'm in fully. We want Cody. Cody's winning the title this year, finishing the story. And then you could go have fucking the legacy feud with Orton or the Gunther feud after he loses his title. There's so many options for Cody out there that are fascinating to me with him as the title, him as the quarterback, him as the guy.
I'm going to be a Debbie Downer for 1 second.
Oh.
I don't. No. I agree with everything that you just said. I just have a feeling that Elimination Chamber is going to feel like it's just dropped in the middle of a WrestleMania build. Like, I don't think that
sometimes does.
Yeah, like, I don't think that pay-per-view is going to do a ton.
Here, though. It's different. It's an Australian crowd and 70,000, dude.
Yeah, like, it's going to be cool. It's just going to be like, hey, and then there's Elimination Chamber. Like, it's going to be like a big event plopped in the middle of a WrestleMania build, because like the Rock's not going to be there. Roman's not going to be there.
Is the Rock willing to fly down to Australia for a day? I don't know.
Dude loves flying places. He loves it.
He does, but Australia's like a 24-hour travel thing. If he can get involved, that could feel like a chapter in the story, and that would be the spot to do a big breakup like Roman and Reigns or something like that, or Roman and Rock, where you could split them off and have them. I don't know though. That might be too soon as well. Like
to do it, the tag match would be cool at Elimination Chamber.
It'd be awesome. Can Seth do that though? Seemed like when Seth got injured, it was like he'll be just ready in time for WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's a good point. I totally forgot that he was even hurt.
What was that match where he got injured? I forget. Who did he face?
Oh, that was when fucking Jinder absolutely derailed the rest of his career, as he does to most people that try to get in his way. Don't Hinder Jinder merch is on WWEshop.com right now. Go check it out.
Dude, the weirdest part of that was like Tony Khan going at Jinder. And Jinder was like, the fuck are you saying fuck me for? He was the 50 Cent me. He was like, what the fuck? And he said something like, who's Hook? And was that Jinder's tweet? He's like, who's Hook? I don't know who that is.
They made him delete that tweet though.
No, did they really?
I believe he had to delete the Hook tweet. Yeah.
Lame. That was a fair shot. That was like kind of a friendly shot even. That was a McGregor. Who the fuck is that guy? Like,
right.
That wasn't so bad. I like the rivalry between AEW and WWE. It's made wrestling better. Undoubtedly, I think it's made wrestling better. And AEW, people are sleeping on them right now. They just had a match, Hangman Page versus Swerve Strickland on Dynamite. That was almost as good as any Dynamite match I've ever seen. Like, go out of your way to check out that match if you haven't. It's fucking awesome.
I admittedly have not kept up with AEW very much recently.
Because your guy MJF, he's not wrestling actively. I was gonna say he's not with them, but I think he's still with them. He's just injured. His hip is all fucked.
Yeah, he's hurt. But I'm still following my guy Big Bill.
That's right. Dude, he just had a fucking unreal Dynamite match as well, where they dropped the tag titles to Darby and Sting. Darby did a suicide dive. Big Bill caught him and did a fucking Big Boss Man slam on the outside on the mat. It was crazy. Great match.
Sting dove off the fucking top of the arena.
Sting probably will dive off the Las Vegas Sphere if you let him. Sting is a madman who is like having 63. His last match next month. I think it's like maybe a month from like today, this week. He's having his last match ever.
Against who?
It's Sting and Darby versus the Young Bucks, hand selected by Sting. He said out of all the people that I guess he's worked with, he had the most fun working with the Young Bucks. They did a 6-man tag like maybe 2 years ago at this point. That was awesome. And the Young Bucks, there was a great spot where the Young Bucks double super kicked him and he just no-sold it and did this. And the fucking crowd got on their feet, went crazy. So I think it's going to be great. I mean, Sting's AEW career is 10 trillion times better than anyone could have predicted because he came into it and everyone was like, this guy's neck is going to like break the second he takes a bump. He has been diving off large structures for like 4 straight years. He just gets into matches. He's like, what can I dive off today? He turned into Jeff Hardy. It's crazy.
Yeah. I saw that spot that they did in that tag match. And I was like, Jesus Christ, man. I had to like Google his age after that. I was like, there's no way he should be doing this. And he should not be doing that.
No, but maybe he gave Mick Foley pointers. If Mick Foley wants to come back, just tell him what part of the body you got to land on, not to, make your hips disintegrate into dust.
I guess, but like Mick's hips are already dust. Like I feel like Sting kind of came into that having not been that guy for 50 years. And then he just decided to become that guy in AEW. So it's like, all right, I have less wear and tear on the body than obviously Mick Foley is coming in there. His fucking hips are held together by duct tape and paper clips.
His hips, and I feel the same way about Hulk Hogan. I feel like his bones at this point are the same consistency as like a piece of bubble gum from a pack of 80s baseball cards. Where like you take a bite and it cracks and then turns into dust immediately. And you're like, oh, that was a bad idea. That's what their bones are made of nowadays. And that's no disrespect. I just think that's probably what it's like.
Pretty much. I wouldn't disagree with that one bit. But either way, I'm very excited for WrestleMania now.
You're back in.
I'm back in. Yeah. I there's still what high 50s, 60 days left, I guess, right? Till
2 full months, basically.
Yeah. Like it's going to take some twists and turns. I feel like I just hope that they make all the right decisions. I think last night was a great way to get everything reined back in. It makes me so uncomfortable when fans hijack shit. It's like, oh, you're not doing what we want. Like we want. It's like, no, just like enjoy the ride. Like enjoy. Like that's why when we talked about
but if they just enjoyed the ride, we're not getting this press conference. The fans hijacking the show turned into my favorite WrestleMania main event of all time at 30. And then the fans hijacking the show 10 years later turned into this press conference that we're raving about. Without that, it's just The Rock being grateful and The Rock saying, oh, and the people and the millions and Black Adam in theaters soon. And
Black Adam.
Like all of that. Like if they didn't go that way, they're hijacking the main event at WrestleMania 40 and we're just getting another main event like Brock versus Roman 10 where the crowd is just deciding, I want to know. They were doing the Bailey chant the whole time. Like I was there for it in New Orleans and it was like, damn, like I'm ready to leave before the main event starting. Now we're in a spot where you can't leave before the main event starting. Now you got to see what's going to happen. Imagine that they fucking have like Cody pin Rock and Roman and then Damian Priest just comes out and cashes in right away and beats him. I wouldn't put it past him. I don't think it'll happen, but I wouldn't put it past him.
The best thing that could happen at WrestleMania is The Rock sticks Cody with a rock bottom and Roman spears The Rock and pins Cody and walks out as champion.
What if he did the thing that he did with Edge and Bryan? He stacked them on top of each other.
Stack them. Pin them both. Fuck these clowns. This
Michael
guy
Cole's
came
like,
back.
And the reign that may never end.
Yeah. Like, I mean, that's what needs to happen. You got Cody, this dude who tried to destroy WWE. You got The Rock, who left for Hollywood, and he's back for the paycheck. Roman's the real hero here. People forget that. People forget that
I'm going to be honest. you saying this is making me think that you and I need to go to WrestleMania in person and see it happen in person. You and your current fucking Roman Bobo getup.
Bobo getup.
In my Cody Rhodes shit. And we might need to just be at WrestleMania to see who's going to come out on top. Who's going to be the real head of the table? Does the head of the table even matter if they haven't been setting the table for 2 years, as Cody said?
Ooh, did I ever tell you this is a real Ulafala?
Yeah, how much did you pay for that? Over 100?
I'm not going to say, but it is
over 100? 6 figs?
This
not 6'3".
I mean, I've probably had this I don't even remember. I bought this 2 years ago, maybe, but I bought it from a Samoan jeweler. Like, this is not from like WWE shop. Like, this came from a Samoan jeweler. It took like 35 days to ship, and it's made from dried fruit that they paint.
Really?
Yeah, that's what it's made out of. Yeah.
Does it feel like fruit? Or is it really hard, right? Does it feel like rocks?
It feels like wood, honestly.
Huh.
Yeah, it feels like painted wood. But yeah, like this is the exact necklace that Roman has.
Yeah, like I said, Roman Bobo.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm on the right side of history here. Am I not?
No,
I am.
Absolutely not.
The
ancestors would be ashamed. Didn't you hear Cody? They'd be ashamed.
Well, Cody's an idiot. I think Cody. Yes, no, he's a pandering fool. And yes, he is. He's a pandering fool. And no, I'm on the right side of history. The bloodline runs this shit. Like, you can say that there's only one royal family in wrestling, but that's just not true. This is not true. There's one, and it's the bloodline.
No, there's more than one, and you're gonna see at WrestleMania that the Rhodes family is gonna come out on top. Finally, a Rhodes will be carrying that title over his head, around his shoulder, around his waist, and it'll be the happy ending that we all dreamed of.
When's the last time you interviewed Cody Rhodes?
It was when they announced WrestleMania, or they put tickets on sale for Philly. I think it was maybe a couple months ago, 6 months ago.
Okay. Do you think I think he would be genuinely upset if I sat in the room wearing this?
No.
I think he would. He'd be like, what do you mean?
Give you some shit.
No, he'd be like, what do you mean you don't like Cody Rhodes? I'm the best. Everyone likes me. Yeah, he would. Yeah,
he would give you some shit, but I think I would like to see you guys in a room together like that.
I'd love to. Yeah.
Texted me recently and just said, I like Dave's pizza reviews. Just discovered them. So he's a little late on that, but yeah.
Just a little late. Just a little late. Yeah.
No, so hopefully in the lead up to WrestleMania, maybe we'll get a Cody Rhodes pizza review. I could coordinate. I could align schedules if Dave is going to be in this. I don't know. Dave is always jet setting, but who knows?
I think that's what he meant by when he said that.
Maybe.
That's definitely what he meant.
It was a while ago, though. And he was like, he sent me like a specific pizza review. He's like, I just watched this one. Very funny. So I sent him the Dragon Pizza one, of course. I was like, check out the promo he cuts on this fatso.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good one.
All right, Jared. I almost don't want to meet him because I think I would end up liking him.
Oh, definitely. No doubt you would. I know both of you. You would get along.
I don't know. Maybe.
All right. Thank you for doing another emergency podcast. I hope we keep doing these. These are really fun.
People keep asking for them.
I know. I love getting tweets. You know, as soon as something big happens, now someone will tag us in 2 tweets and be like, you got to do a podcast together. Feels good that the people are like, hey, we want to hear you guys talk about wrestling.
By the way, one last note. Usually it's cool doing wrestling content because you'll even get Yankee fans being like, you know what? Fuck this guy. But like, I like that he does wrestling stuff. Then you'll have, like, you know, the Cody Bobos now are trying to use my baseball affiliation against me. Like, they'll be like, oh, of course he's a Red Sox fan and a Roman Reigns fan. Like,
I like that.
Fucking clown. It's like, no.
What do you like, the Cowboys too? Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
Cody Bobos, get on this guy's ass.
Yeah, you have to suspend reality when I'm doing my wrestling stuff. So hopefully we get to do another one again.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully we get some big news coming soon. WWE, AEW. Like I said, seek out those AEW matches if you didn't see them, because AEW people are sleeping on right now. But that was it for My Mom's Basement presents Emergency from the Top Rope presents WrestleMania post-fight press conference and all that. We'll see you next time. Enjoy the Super Bowl this weekend.